lesbian detectives, unsolved cases. She's still missing. Yeah, they haven't found her yet. Well, let's talk about it.
They say he vanished without a trace. Could it be a psychotic break or a tragic accident? Police don't know where the body went. Unsolved murders, body still missing. That's unheard. Where's the witness? Lesbian detectives, what's going on? City on high alert, this out the norm. He did what, the who? Man, that ain't real, these crimes ain't true. Then come uncover these theories with us. We live right now, tuning in is a must.
Live right now. Lesbian detective. Lesbian detective. We about to start the show, so get your popcorn ready to go. Pay attention to the message. I present to you the lesbian.
This is Lesbian Detectives. I'm Sierra.
And I'm Elizabeth.
And we are here talking about missing and unsolved murders.
We are discussing cases that you have forgotten about or never even heard of.
So sit back, relax, and let's start this podcast. Welcome back, everybody. And let me tell you something exciting happened to us the last week or so. A popular account actually gave us a big shout out. It was a popular lesbian mom account. It's called Gay Moms Club. They have an app. They have so many different things. And they shouted out our little podcast. Was I crying? Yes. I mean, it was just a exciting moment that somebody listened to our podcast, that somebody thinks so highly of our podcast and gave us a shout out. I mean, it felt amazing that I don't know. I was crying, guys. I was crying a little bit.
It meant the world to us. Thank you.
So this case right here is very true to my heart. I was going to do this case a while ago, but something told me to stop and wait for this case. And I'm like, why? Like, I really want to do this case. And I'm glad I did because so much information just came out about this case. Because I wrote this case a while ago. So when it came out, I had to go back and rewrite. And I'm like, this case is about to be solved. Like, we that close, guys. We that close. Now, I feel like it's time to do this case. Like, to get it back out there. The police are on their duty. Now, let's get us on our duty. And also, this case does deal with a transgender woman. Her pronouns are she and her. So please respect her pronoun. Now, let's get into the episode. This is a story that begins like so many others. A teenager trying to find her place in the world, navigating identity, family, friendship, and finding love. She was bright, determined, and full of dreams for her future. But for this young woman, her story does not end with independence, or a new chapter, or even the normal trials of young adulthood. Her story ends in silence, a silence that has stretched for more than a decade. On the evening of November the 20th, 2012, she left her apartment, telling her roommate she would be back soon. She stepped out into the night with her casual confidence of someone who had her whole life ahead of her. She never returned. Tonight, we are going deep into her life, the childhood that shaped her, the struggle to be her true self, the tension that simmered at home, the fight the night before she vanished, and the person authorities now believe may hold the answers. This is a case full of twists, strange disappearance, and unanswered questions. A case that exposed secrets, revealed hidden tension, and left a community refusing to forget. This is the case of Sage Smith. Sage Smith was born on December 13, 1992 in Charlottesville, Virginia. Her name at birth was Deshawn Smith. Her parents, Latasha Dennis and Dean Smith, were already facing challenges in their marriage. Shortly after Sage's birth, they divorced. Her father ended up spending time in prison on a drug charge, and her mother struggled with raising Sage on her own. Because of that, Sage spent part of her childhood living with her grandmother, Cookie, who became one of the most important person in her life. Cookie always described Sage as bright, sensitive. She was the kind of child who wanted to be close, who talked easily, who connected deeply. Cookie will later say she felt like Sage had been given to her for a reason. But Sage's childhood wasn't stable. She moved back and forth between her mother's home and her grandmother's. And at some point, no one is fully clear on the exact chain of events. Sage entered the foster care system. Those years left their mark. They forced Sage to grow up faster than she should have, to become independent, to find their strength in a place children shouldn't need strength. Throughout all of this, something else was growing inside her. The awareness that she wasn't who the world said she was. She didn't identify as a boy. She didn't feel connected to the name she'd been given. But the words and the understanding would come later. During her teenage years, Sage finally allowed herself to speak the truth she had carried for so long. She came out as a transgender. Family reaction varied. Some needed time. Her father needed the most. He didn't understand at first. He struggled with it. And then, according to him, one of his other children confronted him gently. You said you love us no matter what. That moment changed something in him. He realized Sage wasn't trying to shock anyone or challenge anyone. She was simply trying to be who she truly was. From that point forward, he accepted her. It wasn't perfect, but it was progress. And accepting matters. Sage was trying to survive in a world that wasn't built with girls like her in mind. Despite everything, Sage kept moving forward. She was bold, funny, outgoing, and social. She loved fashion, loved wigs, loved dancing, and loved being surrounded by people who made her feel safe. In 2011, Sage did something no one else in her family had done. She graduated from high school. She was proud. Her family was proud. This felt like a turning point, a fresh start. By March of 2012, Sage had carved out a little independence for herself. She had gotten her own apartment in Charlottesville, Virginia, and invited two close friends to move in with her. The trio settled into life in the busy college town, home to the University of Virginia, tucked northwest of Richmond and southwest of Washington, D.C. Sage loved having her own space. She stayed in constant touch with her parents and grandmother and her many step-siblings from both sides of her family. No matter how grown she felt, she never drifted far from the people who raised her. When she wasn't working or hanging out at home, Sage and her friends spent their nights at one of the few queer-friendly spots in Charlottesville, a local club that welcomed them with open arms. Sage lit up in that space. She loved to dance, to laugh, to be the center of the room. She even recorded YouTube videos of herself dancing, capturing the joy she felt when the music hit. And in the days before she vanished, everything seemed normal. Ordinary plans, ordinary conversation, and an ordinary rhythm to her days. But somewhere in the ordinary routine, something happened to Sage Smith. Something that would change everything. The night of November 19, 2012 was meant to be a celebration. Sage, Aubrey, and Shakira had prepared for a small gathering at their Charlottesville apartment to celebrate Shakira's 19th birthday. Music filled the room, laughter bounced off the walls, and for a moment the stress of everyday life seemed far away. But as the evening went on, tensions arrived uninvited. A girl showed up at the party angry, claiming she wanted to fight one of Sage's friends over a man. The argument quickly escalated, moving outside into the cool night air. Sage, protected and unwilling to stand by while her friend was threatened, stepped in. The confrontation turned physical, and Sage became involved in a fight with a young man named Jamel, a friend from her social circle. By around 11 p.m., the police arrived at the scene. Jamel filed a report against Sage, claiming she damaged his vehicle. Officers documented the incident, but no arrests were made, and soon the police left. The party celebration had ended, replaced with frustration and unresolved tension. The next morning, Shakira decided to remove herself from the situation. She called her friends in Virginia, asking them to come pick her up to take a short trip to the coast for a few days. Sage, meanwhile, was still at the apartments, and according to Shakira, there was lingering tension between them. Sage was angry at Shakira, believing she should have stepped in during the fight to support her. Despite the drama, Sage moved forward with her plans. The next morning, she called her father to congratulate him on his anniversary of his release from jail. During that call, she also asked for money. Source difference on exactly what it was for. Some say Sage wanted it to get her hair braided. Others suggested she intended to buy a TV for the apartment. Sage was also looking forward to Thanksgiving. She planned to travel to surprise her stepsister who lived with her mother, Latasha. She was eager to see her mother's new home and spend time with her family. Yet, according to Latasha, Sage never responded to her calls or texts that day, and the use of silence that would soon cause worry. By the evening, Sage was at the apartment getting ready for a date around 5 p.m. She prepared herself carefully, choosing her outfit and making sure she looked her best. At 5:54 p.m., she woke Aubrey, who had been resting in the living room, to let her know she was heading out and would be back later. Aubrey, used to Sage's busy social life, barely thought twice about it. But hours later, Aubrey awoke into an empty apartment. The lights were out, and Sage was nowhere to be found. Calls to her cell phone went straight to voicemail, unusual for someone so connected and careful with her phone. For the first time, a chilling worry set in. Something wasn't right. Sage, who had always been cautious and independent, had disappeared without a trace. And with that, the clock began ticking on one of the most mysterious disappearances in Charlottesville has ever seen. By the morning November 21st, 2012, Sage still hadn't returned home. Aubrey tried repeatedly to reach her on her cell phone, but every call went straight to voicemail. This was unusual. Sage always kept her phone close, always answered her message. A sense of uneasy began to grow. Concerned, Aubrey reached out to Sage's grandmother, Cookie. Cookie's heart sank the moment she heard the news. Something felt wrong. She told Aubrey to contact her immediately if Sage didn't come home that night. By then, it was clear that this wasn't just Sage being out late or busy with friends. When Sage failed to appear for Thanksgiving dinner, panic set in for her family. She would have never skipped a family gathering, especially one with her stepsister and her mother new home to visit. That's when Latasha officially reported Sage missing. Investigators began investigating immediately. Friends were questioned, and detectives tried to retrace Sage's last known movement. The trail led them back to an apartment she shared with Aubrey and Shakira. It became clear that Sage had been seen leaving the apartment on the evening of November 20th, heading out for a date.
During the investigation, Sage's cell phone records revealed a lead. The last phone number she had contacted belonged to a man named Eric McFadden. Eric McFadden was a young man, 21 years old, in 2012, navigating his own complicated life. Friends would later describe him as someone who was struggling with his identity, not fully out about his sexuality. He was reportedly gay or bisexual, but terrified of letting the truth be known, particularly to his girlfriend, who had no idea of his secret. It was in this context that Eric met Sage. Their connection began online, casual at first, but they eventually spent time together in person. Over time, Sage became part of a world Eric was desperate to keep hidden. According to some accounts, he even gave money to ensure she wouldn't reveal what he'd kept a secret, maintaining the fragile balance of his double life. On the evening of November 20th, 2012, Their worlds would collide in ways that remain chillingly mysterious. Cell phone records later revealed that Eric was planning to meet Sage at the Hampton Inn in Charlottesville. Text messages indicate that Sage was running late, but otherwise, no warning of the events to come. Her last known location that evening was near the Amtrak station, and while the significance of that location remains unclear, it seems inconsistent with Sage's character. She was cautious by nature, wary of strangers, and deeply excited to visit her family for Thanksgiving. Taking a train across town, away from the comfort of friends and family, was not something she would normally do. The following day, November 21st, Eric made an unusual request of a friend: delete his contact information from their phone. The friend didn't know what to make of it, but the action would later raise serious questions. That same friend eventually reached out to Sage's father, revealing that the number they were tracking belonged to Eric McFadden. By November 24th, Eric's girlfriend, worried by his disappearance, called the police to request a welfare check. Officers went to the apartment in Charlottesville, but found it empty. Later that day, the friend who had contacted Sage's father also approached the police, sharing what he knew about Eric and Sage. On November the 25th, Eric called his girlfriend, claiming he was in Washington, D.C. and needed money. He admitted the police wanted to speak with him. 2 days later, on November the 27th, he finally contacted authorities, this time from New York City. During that conversation, he acknowledged having a relationship with Sage and admitted that he was supposed to meet her on the night she vanished, but she never showed. Police asked Eric to return to Charlottesville, and he agreed over the phone. But once the call ended, he disappeared entirely. Over the following days, his girlfriend received conflicting messages. On November the 29th, he said he was taking a bus back to Charlottesville and would be met by police. The next day, she reported he had changed his mind. Emails from Eric claimed that Sage had been blackmailing him, threatening to reveal their sexual encounter. He admitted to meeting her that night, but claimed he had no knowledge of what happened afterward. Eric also told the authorities that Sage had many enemies, a troubling assertion given the uncertainty surrounding her disappearance. While the focus must remain on Sage, the strange trajectory of Eric's behavior cast a shadow over the case. Oddly, despite becoming a person of interest, Eric was not reported as missing until 2019. During police interviews, Sage's family cited a miscommunication. They believed Eric's father had already filed a missing persons report, but the delay raises questions. Did someone in the family know where he had been all those years? Even if they believed he was missing, why wasn't there a persistent follow-up? Most parents would call detectives repeatedly, desperate for answers. The gaps, the silence, and the mysterious movements of Eric McFadden made this case as complex as it is heartbreaking. And through it all, Sage remains the central figure, a young woman whose life was abruptly and violently interrupted, leaving family, friends, and a community desperate for answers. After Sage's disappearance, her family was left in a state of unbearable uncertainty. Every unanswered call, every silence on her cell phone, every lead that went nowhere deepened the ache. For her grandmother, Lolita, it was more than worry. It was heartbreak. She had raised Sage for part of her childhood, had been her first grandchild, and had shared countless quiet moments together. Now she faced the impossible, a granddaughter who had simply vanished. Sage's mother, Latasha, also struggled with guilt and fear. She remembered the small details, the way Sage laughed, the way she insisted on visiting for Thanksgiving, her excitement to see her new home and surprise her stepsisters. Every what if haunted her. What if she had called more? What if she had insisted Sage stay home? The questions were endless, and the lack of answers were unbearable. In Charlottesville, the community began to react. Some feared that Sage's case wasn't receiving the attention it deserved because of her identity. As a young, black, transgender woman, She had faced a world that was often dismissive or prejudiced. Many in the LGBTQ plus community worried that bias had slowed the investigation or influenced how seriously her disappearance was taken. Amy Sarah Marshall, the president of Charlottesville's Pride at the moment, spoke out. There's a general dismissive attitude towards Sage's disappearance. We want to make sure this gets as much attention and value from the community as any other disappearance would. This is a chance for us to look at how we can respond efficiently when someone goes missing. Authorities, however, maintained that they were pursuing the case. Charlottesville Police Chief Tim Longo emphasized, "We see this as a member of our community who is missing. The silence you perceived isn't disinterest. It's part of an investigation that requires careful handling. We have never stopped working to find Sage." For years, leads went cold. Friends like Aubrey and Shakira were interviewed repeatedly, questioned about the night of the party, about the date Sage had planned, about anyone she had interacted with. They recounted every detail they could remember: the fight, the tension, Sage's mood, the text messages, and the late night calls. Each detail was crucial, but the trail remained frustratingly thin. Meanwhile, Eric McFadden, the person of interest, remained elusive. Sage's family and the police attempted to track him down, but he disappeared shortly after Sage did. His movements, his whereabouts, and even his intentions were unclear for years. Family members were frustrated and desperate for answers, unsure whether Eric held the key to finding Sage or understanding what had happened to her. In the years that followed, the case became a quiet but constant presence in the lives of those who loved her. Every holiday, every birthday, every milestone without Sage became a reminder of the void she left behind. Her family never stopped hoping and never stopped searching. Then, nearly 13 years after her disappearance, there was a breakthrough. Detectives discovered that Eric McFadden might be living in Los Angeles, attempting to change his name. Investigators managed to track him down and conduct an interview, the first direct contact with him in over a decade. While details of that conversation remain confidential due to the ongoing investigation, it marked a significant development, a thread that could finally unravel the truth about what happened to Sage Smith. Throughout it all, the community, her friends, and her family have remained steadfast. They speak her name, hold on to her memory, and advocate for justice. Sage is remembered not just for the tragedy of her disappearance, but for the vibrancy she brought to everyone around her. The laughter, the dance, the courage, and the joy she radiated. Charlottesville continues to search for answers. And while the years have passed, the message from the police remains clear. Sage was someone's child, a friend, a beloved member of this community. Sage deserves answers, and Sage deserves the dignity of the truth. For Sage's family, friends, and the city, hope is now mixed with urgency. Every new lead, every new development carries the possibility that the years of silence and pain could finally end. Sage's family remembers her vividly, her love of dance, her energy, her laughter, and her courage in living openly as a transgender woman, despite the challenges she faced. Her friends, Aubrey and Shakira, recalled her magnetic presence and the way she could light up a room. Every now they remember the last time they saw her, the subtle signs of tension, and the hope that she would return home safely. The community in Charlottesville had also reflected on the lesson from Sage's case. Many have recognized the need to support LGBTQ plus individuals, particularly young Black transgender women, who often face both visibility and vulnerability. In society, Sage's disappearance had sparked conversation about human rights, equitable attention in missing persons cases, and the responsibility of communities to protect those most at risk. Though the investigation continues, there is a small but vital reassurance. Authorities have not given up. New technology, fresh forensic methods, and persistent detective work continue to provide opportunities for answers. Every person who may have known Sage or Eric McFadden is encouraged to come forward. Even the smallest detail could finally break the case open. For her family, friends, and the city of Charlottesville, Sage Smith's story is not just about a missing person. It's about memory, justice, and the unwavering hope that the truth will prevail. Sage deserves the truth. She deserves justice, and the search for answers, and for closure will continue as long as anyone who loved her remembers her name. Sage Smith was a 19-year-old when she vanished. She was a daughter, a granddaughter, a friend, a roommate, and a beloved member of the community. And even now, over a decade later, her story continues to resonate, a reminder of both the fragility of life and the strength of those who refuse to forget. As we close tonight's episode, it's impossible not to feel the weight of her story. The woman who fought to be herself in a world that didn't always understand her, who navigated the challenges of a family identity and first love with courage beyond her years. She was bright, full of life, and fiercely determined to live authentically, even when the world around her seems unkind or unaccepting. Her name was Sage Smith, and though she vanished over a decade ago, her spirit remains alive in the memories of her family, her grandmother Lolita, her mother Latasha, and her friends Aubrey and Shakira. They remembered her laughter, her energy, the way she could light up a room, and the small, quiet moments that revealed who she truly was. Her struggle was not just about surviving the challenges of adolescence or navigating the complexities of being a transgender young woman. It was about living fully, openly, and unapologetically. And yet, despite her strength, she disappeared into silence, leaving questions that remained unanswered to this day. This is the story of resilience, love, and longing for justice. This is a story of resilience, love, and longing for justice. Sage's story reminds us of the fragility of life, the importance of community, and the enduring power of memory. She deserves answers, she deserves justice, and if her family and friends speak about her name, she will never forget. So tonight we honor her courage, her life, and her spirit, and we keep searching, remembering, and hoping that one day the silence will end and the truth about what happened to Sage will finally be known. This is the case of Sage Smith. Now let's get into some theories.
Theory.
Let's get into some theories. Everyone is a suspect until proven guilty. Let's get into some theories. Lesbian detectives. What type of thoughts you thinking? What theories running through your mind? I'm thinking all types of suspicion. Uncover the truth, what we can find. Witness say they saw somebody creeping out the back door. What you think they did it for? That's so crazy, I'm not sure. They found a car, where could she be? Here go another puzzle piece. Research and do your history. It's plenty unsolved mysteries. Everyone is a suspect until proven guilty. Let's get into some theories, yeah. Let's get into some theories. Everyone is a suspect until proven guilty. Let's get into some theories. Lesbian detectives.
You or me?
Go ahead.
Let me tell you something, and I'm going to tell every person that's in the LGBT community. If you have to hide your relationship from the world, your family, your friends, don't be with that person, because that person is hiding for a reason. You would never be that person's real relationship.
Yeah.
They're going to have a wife. They're going to have a husband. You will always be the side piece. You will always be in the shadows. If that person can't love you fully and openly, do not be with that person. And I'm telling you, I have never been through that because I was not that person. If you not out in the community, I couldn't be with you. That was my thing. But for her to hide, and I feel like a lot of transgenders go through this. I feel like because whoever they with, they do not want to be out sometimes. definitely a lot of transgender that's becoming a man to a woman. So I feel like they go through the most sometimes. Sometimes are with a man that doesn't want to be out, that doesn't want family and friends to know that they're with this person. Just like how Eric was treating Sage, that's what happened. I feel like, I don't know if Sage was blackmailing him. That's what he said that she was doing. He was paying her to keep his secret. To me, I feel like something happened that night. They met up, something happened at night. Sage was probably like, okay, you know what? I'm tired of hiding, or I want people to know. Because it seemed like Sage wasn't the type of person to hide who she was. I feel like if you have to go back into the closet, that ain't a relationship for you. And I feel like Sage probably felt that same way. She like, I want to experience love. I want somebody to love me. I don't want to be hiding in the shadows. Because also, I remember Eric had a girlfriend. So Sage knew she was a side piece. She probably didn't want to be a side piece no more. She want to be the main person. She want to hang out with Eric and his friends and his family. So I feel like he hurt her because he do not want to come out. And let me tell you something, when he does come out, it's going to be dangerous for him. Not because, oh, like he's in the community. No, because you murdered somebody and you also going to go to jail. And sometimes it's not easy for gay men in jail. So Eric effed up at the end of the day. And I'm telling you, I feel like his family has been helping him hide because he was 21. No 21-year-old have that mindset to run away and hide underground. He probably had family and friends like helping him. I mean, he probably did have the mindset, but how he's running for nearly 13 years and the police have never found him, and they finally found him this year. Like, he had to have money. You know, it's a lot that he had to have. And I don't believe that he probably had that amount of money to hide. He probably had friends and family helping him along the way. But I do think Eric is responsible for Sage's death. And I am brokenhearted that she had to go through that. I wish she found somebody that loved her. Not love who she is to them, but love her inside and out and the person she's becoming. You know, just I'm just sad.
Yeah, I definitely think it was Eric. He had the most to lose. And like you mentioned, according to Eric, Sage was going to rat him out. So he didn't want that. He wasn't ready. And he started seeing her as a threat, somebody that could end the life that he knew. So it wasn't going to go well. But that's what it is. Like, two people always have to be on the same page, you know? And I understand that you might agree to something in the beginning, but we as people evolve, we grow, we change. When something comfortable starts feeling uncomfortable, then it's time to talk. And maybe Sage was like, okay, like I'm done, you know, or I don't want to do this. Of course, you can't threaten somebody who is not out. You're just asking for trouble, but you can say, I'm not okay with this relationship anymore, or I think, you know, I need someone, and you could tell them, like, I need someone who's aligned with things that I want, and that's no longer you. So there's no need to, hey, you're gonna either be with me or I'm gonna rat you out. Like, don't go about it that way. I don't know how true everything is. This was just according to Eric, but to me, it makes him the prime suspect because he had a lot to lose. And they were supposed to meet up that night, and he said they didn't, but then later said that they did. So he was already caught in a lie. He's not a credible source. And he's running away. So it's like everything is pointing to him. I do agree, too, that maybe somebody is funding or helping with money so he can keep being on the run. But he was trying to change his name as well. And it's like, you have things to hide. You have skeletons in your closet. And I don't know if you've seen that meme where it's like, I know you did it, but I can't prove it. There's like a little meme of somebody driving. And that's how I feel.
Yeah, and to me, I feel like if you have to if you're part of the LGBT community and you with someone with the same sex as you, or even if you're a transgender woman or male and you with somebody that want to keep you hidden, do not give them an ultimatum.
Right.
Do not give them an ultimatum. Even if you don't think that will hurt you, don't give them one, because I feel like if I have to give you an ultimatum, that means I know you don't want me. Mm-hmm. That means I'm giving you options to say, hey, I'm done. Because an ultimatum to me is basically like, you got to choose this or that. And if you give them that means you have constantly went to them over and over and over again and asked for the like not even ultimate, like, hey, she probably say, hey, I want you to be out and I want to be your main girl. And he like, no, I'm not going to do it. So she finally probably gave him that ultimatum, like, hey, if you don't come out, I'm going to tell everybody. And to me, if Sage did that, like, Sage, like, I got to look at you like you can't do that. You can't out somebody. You have to, I was outed by my mom to my family. So that's another story. But I feel like you have to wait for that person to come out the closet their own way. If that person is okay losing you, they wasn't meant for you. So I'm telling you, I'm calling myself an auntie. I'm telling you as an auntie, if you have to give that person an ultimatum, don't be with them. If you have to force that person out the closet, don't be with them. Be who you are and don't worry about anybody else. Like, I know, like, all this world is scary, but it's okay. Step by step, day by day. And it will get a little better. You know, life be life sometimes. But we both agree on our theories that we feel like Eric is involved. Somebody's helping him out. We don't know how the conversation went that night. We're not victim blaming, but we do feel like it probably was a conversation about Eric being outed or Eric getting scared that he will be outed, because we don't know. But it seemed like this case is getting back out there. The police found him. They're getting information from him. They're doing interviews with him. So this case feel like it's about to be solved, and I hope it does, and I hope that Sage parents and grandmother get the answers they need. This is our episode. I hope you love it. This one was a dear heart to me. We are on all podcast platforms. Our episodes hit every Friday. We are on all social media. Check us out on YouTube. Like, comment, and subscribe. Give us a 5-star rating. This is Lesbian Detectives. Don't forget, everybody's a suspect
Until proven innocent.
Bye.
Lesbian detectives. Unsolved cases. She's still missing. Yeah, they haven't found her yet. Well, let's talk about it. They say he vanished without a trace. Could it be a psychotic break or a tragic accident? Police don't know where the body went. Unsolved murders, body still missing. That's unheard. Where's the witness? Lesbian detectives, what's going on? City on high alert, this out the norm. He did what, the who? Man, that ain't real, these crimes ain't true. Then come uncover these theories with us. We live right now, tuning in is a must.
Right now, Lesbian Detective. Lesbian Detective. We about to start the show, so get your popcorn ready, let's go. Pay attention to the message I present to you, the Lesbian Detectives.